So let's talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an American-based tech company that was founded in May 2002 right here in the Silicon Valley. It's mainly used for professional networking, which includes the ability to create your very own online professional profile. They've created a huge job boards platform and a number of educational resources as well. But ultimately, LinkedIn is the place to go to connect with other professionals in your industry. So what does that look like for me? Well, I'm a designer with a graphic design and digital product design background. I work in the tech industry and I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, but I work with people all over the world. So my network is filled with lots of those sorts of people who I personally know. We'll come back to that. Every few weeks I log on to LinkedIn and go through my connection requests, and it looks something like this. It's a mess. Look, I'm not trying to brag here. I know I may have more connection requests than the average LinkedIn user since I have more of an online presence, but because I do have all these requests, I've noticed some patterns for how people are trying to use LinkedIn to try and connect with others, which I just think could use some improvement. So if you're struggling to connect with other professionals online or are interested in expanding your LinkedIn network, then this video might just be for you. If you're new to my channel, I'm Alexa. I'm so glad you've stopped by. Like I mentioned before, I'm a designer, so in this video, I'm specifically going to speak to the design community and people who are trying to create professional connections with other designers. But I do think what I'm sharing may be helpful to others, so if that's you, I'd love to hear what your professional background is in the comments below. Okay, let's start by going back and looking through my connection requests list. I'd say on average, at least half the requests I receive come with no context at all. That means someone sends me a LinkedIn request with no message. This is probably fine if we're close friends or had a class together in college. Maybe we directly work together, you know, we're on a first name basis. But a lot of people who send me a connection request with no message are people I've never met in person before nor have any sort of personal relationship with. And I just don't think it makes sense for me to add those people to my professional network if we're not on some sort of first name basis. Even LinkedIn advises against creating first-degree connections with people you don't personally know. They've stated on their help center, we recommend only inviting people you know and trust because first-degree connections are given access to any information you've displayed on your profile. And look, other people may have a different take on this, but this is where I'm at. If I were to connect with absolutely everyone that sent me a request, then I would no longer be able to keep track of all the professional relationships I've spent time building over the years. There would be a giant list of people I'm connected with on LinkedIn, with some of whom I actually know, intermingled with people I don't, and then if those people I don't actually know start messaging me about something important and professional and I don't understand how we know each other, how should I spend my time responding? Should I respond at all? Sounds kind of rude. We're connected after all. It sounds like chaos. I think my mind would explode. And again, this has been my experience. Most people may not be getting the same amount of requests I am, so their network may not look as chaotic as mine could, but I still think this way of connecting is more likely to cause awkwardness in the future. So I think there's a better way to create authentic professional relationships, and you should absolutely leverage LinkedIn, but not necessarily on its own. Let me explain. First, start with your why. Why are you trying to connect with any given person on LinkedIn? If it's someone you know personally, then you've already built rapport and trust, and so your online relationship sounds pretty seamless and it makes sense to connect. If you don't know someone personally, do you have a specific question for them? Do you have something specific you'd like to offer them? Maybe an opportunity to work together? Do you find something they did meaningful and wanted to talk more about it? If you just want to be connected to them because you know of them or because they're doing the same sort of work you're doing, then I don't know. That doesn't sound like the beginning of a good, trusted online professional relationship. If you don't know your why yet, then you can start by searching for people on LinkedIn who are in the network you want to be a part of. As an example, if I wanted to get connected with more product designers in San Francisco because I was a design student in Wisconsin and I wanted to move to San Francisco, then I could start by looking up product designers in San Francisco. I'm not sure exactly how LinkedIn search works, but I do know they try to promote people in search who you may have closer connections to. Once you found someone you're interested in, maybe it's because of where they work or what they've got written in their public profile, I recommend going to Google and trying to learn more about their background. In the design industry, this means searching for their personal website or even social media accounts, because designers tend to have an online presence in this sort of way. If you resonate with someone because of their work, their role, their background, what they've written, or whatever it may be, then you're already much closer to your why and have some substance to leverage when reaching out to them. This brings me to my next recommendation, which is to send them a personal message. You've done your research and know why you want to connect with them online, so write them something personal. I think one of the the best ways to connect with someone new is to ask questions. This gives the message receiver something specific to respond to and enables them to be helpful, which is fulfilling. There are quite a few ways you can message someone online these days. You could message them through their social media account, so maybe Instagram or Twitter, or you could try and send them an email if they've made their email public, or you could message them on LinkedIn. Since this video is about LinkedIn more than any other platform, let's talk about that option. In order to message someone you are not connected with on LinkedIn, you have two options that I know of. The first option is to upgrade to a paid subscription of LinkedIn and get access to the in-mail feature. I've actually never purchased this upgrade before, so I don't personally know a lot about it, other than I know I've received messages from people through in-mail before without a connection request, and I know it's a paid feature. As a designer, I don't really see the need to pay for just in-mail because, like I mentioned, most designers have an online presence, and so you should be able to message them without needing to pay to figure it out. The other option is to send them a connection request and include a message. Looking back at my LinkedIn account and sorting through the requests, I see I also have a large number of people who have sent me messages. This is great. However, of the people who have sent me messages, a large majority of them are sending them with the intention of connecting on LinkedIn, and that's pretty much it. And that's where I think people are getting things sort of out of order. One message does not build rapport or trust. That happens over multiple connections, messages, and moments in time. I think it's totally fine to request a connection with someone on LinkedIn in order to send them a message, if there is that option. But again, I will not send a message with the expectation that they will accept your request just outright. If you do receive a message back from someone you reached out to, then congrats. That's really great. That could be the very beginning to an interesting and authentic professional relationship. But again, relationships are built over time. I'm not going to be able to tell you when exactly the right moment is to try and connect with someone on LinkedIn and become a part of their online professional network. There's just not a precise formula to get you there. More importantly, ask questions. Focus on your why, what you want, what you can give other people, and how you're trying to grow in your career. And I know the right people will come into your life and become a part of your story, whether or not that's on LinkedIn. Remember, my name is Alexa. That is all for now. I hope to see you next time. Bye.